Well, it's playoffs time now. We're down to the final four games, and it's the final four teams that are going to battle it out. Potentially, we might see a new champion after a long, long time. Not a Delhi, not a Mumbai, and not a Chennai Super Kings this time around. But I have Kolkata versus Sunrisers Hyderabad, qualifier number one at the Narendra Modi Stadium. I have Orko representing the Kolkata Knight Riders as always, and I have Varun, who has a wonderful background setup with the Orange Army all the way down there. I'll start with him first of all. Varun, how does it feel like? Because I think after the win or after the loss as well, after a washed out game against the Gujarat Titans, you did not believe that you will get the second spot.
I think you see, we had two games left, two home games. Even if we would have played them both, I felt like we would win. See, that's the kind of momentum that we were going with. We had the confidence. We have the captaincy, in Pat Cummins as well. He brings something to the table, the confidence. Even if it's lost on the field, somehow the spark always comes up. So we had that belief. But even though the first game was rained out, a KKR versus RR being rained out was a blessing in disguise for us.
Correct.
We moved to the top two. After so many disasters of seasons, and then just jumping up to the top two is it's a different feeling this time around. It's
So
amazing.
how was your nerves when all of a sudden you saw 10:42 p.m. Indian Standard Time, both the captains of KK and Rajasthan are having a toss of a six-over game?
Uh, I didn't still see RR was going to win because I think we were talking about this behind, backstage, right? Rajasthan Royals, when they come into the second half, they somehow always lose the plot. They really need Josh Butler here. I think that's the man which keeps saving the Royals whenever they're in trouble, and they don't have him. Jaiswal isn't in the best of forms, and whoever got selected for the World Cup for India, especially, they're not showing up at the right times. So when you look at all of that in aspect, in KKR being the team that it is this season, I think they were looking unbeatable, even though it's rainy conditions. Okay, even if it's the Rajasthan's home ground, Kolkata's strength is unbeaten.
Okay, Kolkata strength is unbeatable, very well respected by Varun. Come to this time, Virat, Orko with here with the Kolkata Knight Riders. Orko, what's your take on this season? You have made a lot of records this time. The highest team which has qualified at the rank one of the points table with the best net run rate. That's a big thing. One plus 1.4, if I'm not mistaken. Reached the 20-point mark. A successful season. Is it that one man in the management that has been the difference?
Absolutely. I think we have got credibility even in the past when he was present as a player and captain. And certainly his presence has impacted us a lot in this entire journey. And it's a dream season, to be honest, that we qualified and we stayed at number one even after our last two games getting rained out and the kind of net run rate we have. Certainly there is something that's even off the field that works when Gambhir is around. We can call it luck, perhaps. So certainly it's a good thing that KKR have gone this far. And I hope that they'll continue doing the same.
See, what I feel here is it's like the mindset change with these two sides, right? For KKR, Gambhir has come in, he's brought in that aggressive mindset
Aggressive
totally.
nature, yeah.
And then once Pat Cummins comes in, he gives a freedom to the players. Instead of the management taking all the calls, Pat Cummins and Vettori has given the freedom to the players, and that's the difference you've been seeing. And these are the top two sides this year.
Absolutely. Absolutely. He has also given a freedom, phenomenal captain. Not to take away, Shreya Shayer has been a good captain this season. That's the reason why they are in the top of the table. Let's take a look at the journey so far for both the IPL teams, starting with the Kolkata Knight Riders. Top of the table right there, finishing at rank number one. I'll come to Orko. If you can sum it up the entire season, how it has been for you guys, starting from match number one, winning with the narrow margin. Do you give the credit to Suyash Sharma? That's the only time you face the Sunrise Hyderabad. Then after 1.5 months' time, you will face them in the qualifier one. I'll start with you, and if you can sum up the entire season, how it has been for you.
In short, it's been a dream season. And even if you look at the way it started, obviously SRH was close to winning it. We were winning it, but then for a brief period, Klassen almost took the game away from us. And then that piece of fielding brilliance that somehow pulled the game in our favor. So there have been a number of games where we won from a losing situation. And also, of course, we lost two games where we should have won, maybe the one against Rajasthan and then the 260 plus defending, which we failed to do against Punjab. So I wouldn't say that they should have been near perfect, but they have almost been there, and absolutely proud with the way the boys have gone about and hoping that they capitalize even in these important games ahead.
Absolutely. And out of these 14 games, you will have a lot of memorable games so far, but the most has been the double over Mumbai Indians, surely.
Certainly, because a team against whom we have had a very poor record, in short, they've been a nemesis all through the tournament for the last 15, 16 years. So to have given them the double, and even if you look at it in terms of superstition, we have done the same in 2012. And because we have done that now, we know we have won the IPL that year. So if things get in place in that way, it would be nice to see that.
And ideally, last two games, you unfortunately had a net no result due to rain. But that was the perfect stage setup for somebody like a Raymond Gurbaz to have a look into the side, bat alongside Sunil Narayan. But now it's time at the biggest stage. He has to perform. Though you have a second bite of the cherry in case you lose and play the qualifier too, but you will always want to win the game, go on to the finals, and have at least 4 days break. How do you look into Raymond Gurbaz? A very good talent, but can he somehow replace somebody like a Phil Salt who has been phenomenal this season?
Well, I wouldn't say he can exactly replace because Salt is a proper pace basher, someone who goes hard in the power play. Gurbaz is not really comfortable against high quality pace, but that being said, he's a very talented player. And I wouldn't say that you need him to score some 70, 80 runs. Even if he gives us a good 20, 30 run cameo in quick time, that will work a lot for us given the fact that we have a lot of batting depth. So I would hope Gurbaz just takes one game at a time and sets short targets. And I think that will be enough in terms of his contribution.
Okay, so you're pretty much confident on him and you're expecting him not to take too much of pressure. We're done with the Kolkata Knight Riders. Coming now to their opponent, which is the Sunrisers Hyderabad. Second in the points table, 17 points in the back, deserving so in the second points, as we discussed in the beginning. I'll come to Varun, if you also can sum it up your entire season, starting with, as I said, the loss versus the Kolkata Knight Riders. The over of Mitchell Stark, if I'm not mistaken, where Henrik Klassen did 4 sixes, and all of a sudden you guys were back in the game. What do you look into this game? What were you guys favorites in the last over to win that game?
See, we needed 80 runs in 24 balls. And, with the kind of history this team has, I would have expected us to lose by probably 60, 65 runs. But then Klassen and Shahbaz Ahmed, the way they showed up under pressure was absolutely fantastic. Okay, we didn't win, but the comeback was absolutely fantastic. Right, we were so close. I think Klassen took that. I think he took that single, and then Shahbaz got out.
Yeah.
If Shahbaz would have taken a single there as well, maybe things would have changed because his wicket definitely changed things up for us, and
And
that's
it
why.
was a dot ball which kept Klassen out of strike.
Correct. So that messed up the whole tactics of the last over. 13 of 6, hit a 6 of the first ball of the last over, and then 7 of 5, and then the wicket started tumbling there. The two important ones that too. So if only Shahbaz would have taken that single and then made it 6 runs off 4 balls, and then Klassen comes in, it would have been near to perfect. It might have been a win for us.
From becoming a hero at his own hometown, he unfortunately couldn't contribute much, Shahbaz Ahmed. But as I said, I asked Orko as well, entire season for Sunrise Hyderabad, any memorable game? Was it the thumping win against the Mumbai Indians you had in your second game of the season? Or was it that remarkable chase against the Lucknow Super Giants, the third last game of your season? Which one or any other game you can sum it up, please?
I say the Mumbai Indians one is great. The RCB one is great. The Lucknow one is absolutely terrifying to even watch in the highlights. But I'm gonna go with the Rajasthan Royals game. See, winning a game off of 1 run, and especially with the way bowling has been going this season, even for the Sunrisers, I think we are the second worst economy. It's not a good thing to say, but again, when you're looking at how the IPL is going, I think you can say maybe like a 10.5 economy is pretty. It's okay at this certain stage. But when you score 201 after you lost, I think 3 quick wickets, right? Anmol Pre did not show up to the party. Travis
Yeah.
Head, his from this game onwards, his spin game improved really, really well, right? Because he was taking down Yuzvendra Chahal like he was some sort of gully bowler. He was taking down Ravichandran Ashwin as if he was some sort of gully bowler,
And he was
right?
batting watchfully.
Correct. So he improved his maturity against the spinners, right? And batting on Indian conditions. We've seen him in the World Cup. Our Indian bowling line was predominantly more of off spinners. One off spinner and then one Kuldeep and then rest all our paces. But when you come to Rajasthan, they have at least 3 or 4 spinners and then going to the paces. But when you see the game, the spinners have taken more of the overs where Travis has played, and he's played a brilliant knock. And I think that was a role defining innings for him, right? He can bash the ball, he can get like 80 runs in 30 balls, but he also can get 60 in 40 balls, trying
Correct.
to keep the innings intact for the team, right? Aiden Markram, he didn't show up. A lot of batsmen didn't show up. Nitish Kumar Reddy, he's been fantastic, right? A find of the season for us. I mean, literally. I
Absolutely.
mean, these kind of batsmen, they got us to 201. did not get off to such a great start with the ball, right? 60 plus in the power play, but we were nowhere in the game. It was 99-1, RR to SRH, and then come the last over. I think the last three was actually Natrajan, Pat Cummins, and the Bhuneshwar Kumar, and that was a death bowling masterclass, right? They needed 24 of 18, and no one would say the bowling team is going to win this. With
Correct.
Roman Powell, Shimron Hetmeyer, Rian Parag, these kind of batsmen on strike in full flow, and then these three come. Bhuneshwar Kumar, last ball, 2 of 1. He gets the LBW off a full toss. Can you imagine that? A full toss, right? So, these kind of twists and turns, that's what makes the T20 game, so appealing. And that's why I
Absolutely.
pick this game.
Okay, you have picked that game. I think it was a nail biter of a game. So that sums up both the games, both the teams' journey so far in the IPL. Let's take a look at the pitch report of the Narendra Modi Stadium. Yeah, it is. Ahmedabad. So far, we had 8 games, rather 7 games with one no result. But Orko, if I come to you, if you can watchfully see the 6th game that has been played here, I think chasing. If you look at the green down, second inning, second inning, second inning, second, 4 times chasing has been good. Only twice the defending team has been won. But if you look into that first time, GT versus CSK, it was a mammoth total of 231. So you can understand the reason why they defended the total. GT versus MI, the first game, we understood how Punjab, rather how Mumbai collapsed for that chase. I think they were cruising towards the victory. All of a sudden, they collapsed. So, how do you look into this one? Do you think chasing is the right thing at Ahmedabad? We have seen a little bit of dew. So, if you're given the captain's hat at Ahmedabad, definitely chasing, or you think the pitches might get tired, so the spinners might come onto the play in the second innings?
Well, I think there are two ways to look at it, because if you look at it on a track record point of view, obviously teams would prefer chasing, and with Dew being expected to come in, maybe they'll expect themselves to be backing themselves to chase. But I think that if you look at the strength of both the teams, SRH loves batting first, and they do that well. They kill the opposition in the first innings itself. And on the other hand, KKR, though they have won a number of games defending, because sadly Shreyas Iyer has lost more than half of the tosses. But if you ask Shreyas or anyone in the management of KKR, they always would back themselves and fancy chasing. So I think if anyone wins the toss, they will give the other team also what they want. So it's like SRH would obviously prefer batting first, or if they look at the conditions, they may bowl. And if I think KKR would be a team that would want to bowl first. So toss really doesn't play a big role, but if the conditions come into play, then perhaps certainly the team would want to bowl first.
Okay, so you think that toss doesn't play in a big game, but you still want KKR to chase. I'll come to Varun now. Varun, I'm not asking you about the toss. I'm asking you how are the fields when you see Travis Head and Pat Cummings stepping onto the Narendra Modi Stadium.
Oh my God. Shit. If one of you both go to the stadium tomorrow, you can let me know. Jeez. I mean, at least it's not Australia playing in Ahmedabad. It's the Sunrisers, and it's a
And in
franchise league,
the
right?
opponent side, it's not a blue team. It's a purple team this time
I
around.
mean, it's you can say it's a shade of blue. Don't worry about it. See, and I think he hasn't even played against KKR yet. Travis said, right?
Correct. He
So
didn't play the
yeah,
opening game.
we're gonna see another firestorm maybe. Just expecting that to happen again in Ahmedabad.
To
Okay, so
actually interrupt Varun, Travis had did play against KKR when he was in RCB, and he
In
scored a
RCB,
wonderful
75.
70.
Yeah.
Yeah, so certainly his record against KKR is good, and that's what makes everyone worried tonight.
He played these many matches for RCB and he scored this much in the small innings play. And that too against KKR only. So okay, good signs.
okay, but you also agree, Varun. But though, as Orko rightly mentioned, you guys love to bat first. But if you're given the captain's hat, if you win the toss, Pat will definitely want to chase, just like he did in the World Cup final.
I think the team needs to stick with their strengths. When you're in crunch games, and I think if Pat does win the toss, he's gonna go bat first. I think, as Dr. Arka said, right? If the conditions vary, then Pat Cummins might elect to bowl first. But other than that, with the kind of team we have, with the kind of totals that we've been setting up in the first innings, how we've been destroying the game in the power play itself, I think they'll be trying to recreate that again when the pitch is fresh and hard. So I think we're gonna go and bat first if we do win the toss again.
Okay, so Sunrisers wants to bat first, says Varun. Orko says, if by chance Shreyas Iyer wins the toss, I would like to chase. So we will see what happens. They have given their verdicts. We will see today evening. We're done with the Ahmedabad pitch report. Let's take a look into before the high voltage game. What do the teams need to take a note about in this game? Starting with the Kolkata Knight Riders, here are the three things I have taken. A new opening partner for Sunil Narayan. It's no more Phil Salt, ladies and gentlemen. Middle order batting will be key because, as we all said, the bulk of the runs were done with the opening partners. Phil Salt has played a heavy role. So the middle order batsman needs to take a lot of responsibility, though they are in good touch. Spinners will be the key to success. Varun Chakravarti at the knack of the time when it's required. He's coming at all guns blazing. No introduction for Sunil Narayan. Orko, if you can just sum it up, all these three, if you can agree as well.
Absolutely. These are the things that they need to look at. And certainly, even if you look at the fixture which we had versus SRH, our opening didn't perform that day as well. Salt went cheaply and Narayan was also run out pretty quickly. So obviously, they know that they have to rely on their Indian core in the middle order to get the runs under their belt, because you never know whether Gurbaz will perform on this first game of the season itself. And we obviously never know whether Narayan would do the same. And even if you look at history, SRH have been good in the power play against KKR. They often get 3, 4 wickets very quickly. Natarajan gets them wickets. Maybe Jansen might play tomorrow. So certainly the track record in the power play is not that great against this side. So a lot of onus lies on the middle order. And as you said, spin will be the key to success. These are big grounds. If there's a bit of bite and turn, and if the surface is sluggish, then Varun and Narayan, and if they play another third spinner, they all three would fancy the chances in this game.
Okay, so that pretty much sums it up the way you said about the Kolkata Knight Riders. Going to their opponents, which is the Sunrise Hyderabad, the other three things I have taken a note, Varun, which is the openers will be key. Luckily, it's not an English opener in your side, it's an Australian opener. So you have both of your openers set and will be available for this game. Nitish Kumar Reddy, phenomenal player this season. Henrik Klaas and Abdul Samad, your hard-hitting batsman in the middle order versus the KKR spinners. That will be key. And this one again, I have to repeat it once again. Cummings, will he succeed again in the Ahmedabad?
Yeah, first of all, talking about the openers, I think even when Travis Head was a golden duck boy yesterday, the team stood still. And I think the number three batsman coming into form was an important thing for us, because the number three batsman from Aiden Markram to Tripathi to Anmol Preet and then to Sanveer, it's been a problem for us. So Tripathi coming into form is good signs for us. Will he play tomorrow or not is another question, because this team basically looks at a game to game basis. They
Okay.
change their lineup based on what game they're playing in what type of conditions. So will Tripathi play tomorrow? Who's going to be a number three batsman is the question. And same
So
goes for the second one. Yeah.
before I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I just want to know what is the role of Sanveer Singh in this side? Is he a middle order batsman, a lower middle order batsman? What's this?
Sanveer Singh, I think they're just using him as kind of a floater. Right now, I don't think he has such a big role to play. I think his main role right now is being a fantastic fielder for us in the outfield. Glenn
Exactly.
Phillips is supposed to be in the lineup, but we got an Indian guy in place of him, which is Sanveer
So
Singh.
just like you have a Sanveer Singh, they have a Ramandeep Singh.
Right. So Sanveer is just waiting for his chance. Yesterday, he finished the game off with a 4. His jersey number is 7, Tala for a reason. So we're just waiting for him to replicate that again soon enough. But again, as I was saying it, the number 3 batsman thing applies for the second one as well, with Nitish Klassen and Samad. And Samad against the KKR spinners will be a good competition, because Samad against spinners does not work well together. And especially against Varun Chakravarti, this guy is really, really weak. So the main thing is that do not lose wickets on a consistent basis. The other two can probably manage, but if Samad comes in that early, he can't do much. And I think that's where Sanveer might just come in, and then we can test
Okay.
him out.
You
And
also
then
have a Shahbaz Ahmed, right?
Shahbaz Ahmed, yeah. And then Cummins to succeed at Ahmedabad again. I think we'll just see tomorrow. I don't want to jinx it. I
Okay,
don't
he
want to.
doesn't want to jinx it. He wants to see it tomorrow as an SRH fan, because last time he was an Indian fan versus Australia. So we are
Yeah.
done with the key things to take a note. Let's take a look into the top three players to watch out for. So here are the three players I have taken a note for the Kolkata Knight Riders: Sunil Narine, Shreyas Iyer, and Varun Chakravarti. For the Hyderabad boys, I couldn't just keep him outside, though he's playing for the Sunrise Hyderabad. Travis said, Nitish Kumar Reddy, and Pat Cummings. I'll hand over Orko for the Kolkata Knight Riders, and then following with Varun for the Sunrise Hyderabad. Orko, to you.
Well, certainly, Narayan has a big role. Obviously, he's someone who performs in crunch games, and his role with the ball obviously will be a little more defined, because I think he has outperformed everyone else and he has done more than we expected as a batsman. So, even if he doesn't do the same in the upcoming games, I wouldn't really mind, because of the batting depth we have. His bowling will be crucial alongside Varun Chakravarti, as you said, because they are the ones who create that middle overs choke, and that has obviously helped KKR grab a lot of victories in this season. Shreyas Iyer will be integral, but I would say his record against SRH isn't that great. late, and because his batting position is also a bit jeopardized because he doesn't know whether he'll come at 3 or 4 or 5. So that will be a factor that they need to address. Maybe they may send someone like Venkatesh Iyer ahead because he's got a good record in Ahmedabad. Nitish Rana has got a very good record against SRH. So these are also the players they need to look in. But absolutely, he being the captain and someone who does well in big games might come good. So I think these three players would be the ones to watch out for. Maybe Mitchell Stark as well because he has done well in
Absolutely. I was
Ahmedabad.
thinking the same. Yeah.
He has done well in Ahmedabad. People call him a clutch player, and the fact that he's got a good record against Travis Head. I mean, even if you go at YouTube, you've seen him got Travis Head in the first over itself multiple times, and Travis Head himself confessed that facing Stark is a bit of a problem for me. So if that works, then it'll be good for us. But I think these three are the players who make or break for the side.
Okay, make a break for the side. Going to the other end, Sunrise Hyderabad. Stark can be a threat for Travis said. He said, talk us through your three players, please, Varun.
First of all, the conditions of Ahmedabad, they might just be slow. And when Gujarat Titans had Mohammad Shami in their arsenal, the pitches used to be made out of black soil, which really used to help him a lot. But now, because it's red soil, it's really helping out the spinners a bit more. So it is going to be a little slower. But for Travis said, I don't really think the pitch matters here. We've seen that in the Lucknow game, and I think if he just keeps up that momentum, we could see probably a 200, 210, 220 type of score if we do bat
And
first.
before you go on to the remaining two players, how has been his opening partner? Phenomenal.
Abhishek Sharma, yeah, I was surprised why he wasn't on this list. But Abhishek Sharma, I think, all the limelight has gone towards Travis Head more than Abhishek Sharma. And I think it's because he's the World Cup winning guy who's taken away the cup from us. He's being looked at as a villain. I think if you keep all of that aside, Abhishek Sharma has been the true hero here for the Sunrisers. I mean, he stepped up out of nowhere. Uh, he really got adjusted to the mindset. And I think Kavya Maran did a really, really good job getting Travis Head in. So, they both gel together very well, Travis and Abhishek Sharma, and we're pretty lucky to have that combo together. Going to Nitish Kumar Reddy, as I said, it is a red pitch soil, so red soil pitch. So KKR are going to be playing with Narayan and Varun Chakravarti,
Varun
maybe
Chakravarti.
Suyash as well, or what's that other guy? Anukul Roy. He might come in as impact player. So Nitish Kumar Reddy, he's pretty good against the spinners, right? He first takes his time. He first takes 10 balls, hits like 5 runs off 10 balls, and then he hits a six to get things going. So if he can repeat his classic knocks yet again, it would be nice. And then Pat Cummins, not expecting anything much from him with the bowling side. All we need is his captaincy, and his captaincy to be good for us and lead us to our what is it now, third final for the Sunrisers. So I think, yeah, these are the top three players, excluding Abhishek Sharma. It's fantastic,
Okay.
and hopefully, all these four guys work out together for us.
Okay, but you said about pitch being slow. How important is Pat Cummins, the bowler, with his off cutters on the pitch? He's doing that pretty well, and he has done that pretty well in the recent past. Similarly to a T Natarajan as well. These
Right.
kind of bowlers have experience and know how to bowl in the pitch with their slowers.
It's worked out in Hyderabad for Pat Cummins for a while. Whenever he looks in touch, he bowls some good off cutters and gets those wickets. Even when you see him bowling against the Punjab Kings and the kind of wicket he's gotten against Johnny Bairstow, that just tells what kind of a mindset he has on what to do in what sorts of pitches. Going to Ahmedabad, I think that's exactly how he's going to bowl. Like if he comes in the power play, I'm expecting a wicket. Um, who's as I said, if is Rahul Tripathi still going to be in the side? If not, which batsman is going to come in or which bowler is going to come in. Is Unad Kat going to come back or is Mayank Markande going to come in? And is Vyas Kant going to go
Yeah,
out? Right? And some other spinner or overseas fast bowler like a Jansen or a Faruqi or a Phillips as a batsman, who will come in? And when will Pat Cummins unleash the demon in Travis said in the bowling area? That's
yeah.
another good thing to look at. So yeah, that's what I'm looking for right now.
Okay, so you have summed it up the three players to watch out for SRH. Orca is already done for the Kolkata Knight Riders. We're done with the six players, including Abhishek Sharma, as he mentioned, including a Mitchell Stark, as Orko mentioned as well. We're done with that. Let's take a look at the top three battles in this game. Oh, it's three mouth-watering one, I must tell you. Mitchell Stark versus Travis Head, a no-brainer out there. Pat Cummins versus Shreyas Iyer, captain versus captain could be there. And a Bhuvaneshwar Kumar versus Sunil Narayan. I'll hear individually from both of you. I'll start with Orko. If you can sum up all the three, then I'll go to Varun as well.
You can't choose one among them because if you look at the one between Head and Stark, obviously we know that Stark has his noses in front. But that being said, if you look at recent form, Head obviously is someone who you expect to dominate. And if you come to the second battle, you know that in Ahmedabad, when Shreyas was batting wearing the India jersey, Cummins was in the Australian jersey, and maybe that wicket was the turning point, and that's what didn't give us the momentum and the tempo that we needed in the World Cup final. So he has a score to settle as well, so that will be something he may eye on that particular venue. Narayan versus Bhuvi will be a very interesting battle because Narayan is someone who goes hard at front and Bhuvi is someone who swings the ball. And if he gets some early swing in Ahmedabad, then he could be a big threat. So you can't really decide on which will be the top battle to watch out for. But yes, certainly the Head versus Stark battle will be a key one because if you happen to stop Head early, then it's advantage KKR. And if the opposite happens, you know SRH is already running away with the game.
Okay, but I'll come to you once again, Orko, regarding the third battle, which is Narayan versus Bhuvi. And if you've noticed it very closely, the last couple of games of Sunil Narayan, when he's batting against new ball bowlers, the bowlers are swinging in into his pads, not giving him room. So you know Pat Cummings is a very good person that does his homework. We've seen in the final. Can Bhuvi be instructed because he's a man of swing, and in the last couple of games, you all know how good he has come with a dream delivery to Sanju Samson as well. But do you think that he's going to come up with a plan of not allowing Narayan to free his arms and go over the infield of offside, rather keep him intact in the pads with a couple of sweepers in the leg side?
He certainly could do that because Narayan, obviously, if he's stuck in without any room, he obviously struggles. But the thing is, Narayan is not desperate to go after the bowlers. I think if you notice the difference between this season and the previous ones, even if he takes time, he backs himself to compensate in the coming overs. So it may work for SRH or it may work in favor of KKR as well. So only time will tell. Some bowlers are obviously tried to go wide outside off stump, like Dayal got him. Siraj also bowled a full Yorkers wide outside off stump, trying to, get him catching on that square cover regions. So certainly that is something that they will look at. And Cummins is a mastermind in terms of planning out against teams and players. So certainly I don't have much expectations on Narayan, the batsman, tomorrow. But if he gives us some bonus runs, then it will be welcome for us.
So you stick to Stark versus Head as your one?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, no brainers with that. And I think Varun will stick the same. Varun, your choices as well out of these three, please.
Um, I'd like to say Bhuvi versus Narayan,
Okay.
because there's a moment in 2017 where I remember that Bhuvi he bowls to Narayan and full on Yorker and mid stump just goes flying out in the air, and I just love that wicket. And Bhuvi has always gotten a better of Narayan. Um, so it'll be interesting to see because Narayan, he's been in tremendous form. He's in the damn orange cap race, which I would have never expected. And then Bhuvneshwar Kumar, he's not been the best of touches, but off lately, he's been getting them wickets. He's been getting that good economy rates as well. So if Narayan and Bhuvi face off against each other again in this high clutch match, it'll be fantastic to see.
And the rest of the two, do you think the scores will be settled in the Ahmedabad between the two captains?
Pat Cummins, so far, I think he's gotten KL Rahul, Rohit Sharma. He's gotten all the captain material type of players. So maybe Shreyas Iyer can be added to the arsenal.
Okay, and the big one, the two Aussies. Do you think Travis Head can come out well? But as you mentioned, he feels uncomfortable. Do you think Stark can get the better of him?
The weakness for Travis Head is when you bowl it up to his waist high, right onto his body. That's where he can't really swing the bat away and get the boundaries that he needs. When you throw it offside, now away from his legs or his body, then he just moves around and he hits it over for six. Now, so if Mitchell Stark just looks, at that tactic, because they both know each other pretty well. Travis Head knows what to do, but the bowler's mindset is even more smarter than the batsman's.
Yeah,
What is Mitchell Stark going to do in the form that he is in? That's going to be interesting to see here, more than Travis said batting against Mitchell
absolutely.
Stark.
Absolutely. So we will see. They have said their predictions and they have said their choices in the battles. We're done with the battles. Let's take a look into the predicted playing 11. Starting with the top team, which is the Kolkata Knight Riders, who are the home side today's game as well. Orko, I'll come to you. No changes, just one, which is the first one. Absolutely. Ramanullah Gurbaz in place of Phil Saul. The rest stays the same. As I said, and I repeat again, if it's a slow track, do you bring in Suyash Sharma or do you once again go with somebody like a Webb or Varora or maybe an Anukul Roy?
Yeah, I think they will go with Weber this time around because of that recency bias, and Suyash hasn't got much game time either. So even when he played, he didn't perform the way he would have wanted to. So maybe they'll not back him. And I think Weber is the one they'll go for as an impact player. And if there's any collapse for some reason, then maybe someone else in the form of a batter like Manish Pandey could come in. But I hope that doesn't happen because of the batting depth we have. Obviously, they can negotiate through this bowling attack as well. So I think the rest of the team is going to stay the same. And certainly the key element of this match would be the middle order that we have. I don't have much expectations from the top order. I think that Indian trio in the middle order decides a lot of games for us tomorrow.
Decides a lot of games tomorrow. And you know, the last time Nitish Rana played at the Narendra Modi Stadium against the Gujarat Titans, he had a phenomenal game. Even Venkatesh Iyer. So, how much expectations do you have from Nitish Rana coming back from an injury?
A lot of expectations. Obviously, he's a player I've always rated very highly, and I think he could have got this season going, but sadly, he met with that injury in the first game against this very team. So I think he's coming back to where he had a stopgap sort of situation, and obviously, he would have a big impact in this particular game, and if we go to the final, even there as well.
Okay, so you say that it's the perfect side, not to make any changes at the biggest stage of the tournament. And coming to the Sunrisers Hyderabad, I stick the same. I have unfortunately dropped a Sanveer Singh and kept Rahul Tripathi as I need a proper number three for Sunrisers Hyderabad. And also I have Vijay Kant in my 11 as my fourth overseas. Varun, over to you. What's your playing 11 for Sunrisers today?
If it might just be like this if the conditions are the same in Ahmedabad, just like how it was in Hyderabad. As I said, they go on a game-to-game basis. That's what James Franklin, the bowling coach, said as well. So will Rahul Tripathi play or not? That's a question to be seen. We'll get to know tomorrow anyway. But I think Jaydev Unadkat's gonna come in as the impact player. That's for sure.
Mhm.
Vijayakant, he needs to perform now. Right, it's a crunch moment. He's been good. He's gotten the wicket. He's been okay in the economy section as well. He's still a new guy. I can't really blame him. But now he needs to step up. He needs to get those wickets now, especially when you're playing in Gujarat on that type of surface. He might just get some assistance as well, and it's time for him to feast. The batting lineup is all great. It's all good for us. It's just that the bowling, can it step up on the type of surfaces and the type of form that they're in? So I think, yeah, it's perfect.
Okay, so it's perfect for you. You agree with the impact player as well. It's time whether they can show it in the 22 yards is what it matters for you. Absolutely fair enough. We are done with the playing 11. It's time. Let's move on to the predictions time of qualifier number one. It's a big game. Qualifier one. Both the teams a win directly onto Chidambaram Stadium in Chepauk on Sunday, but a loss. You have to wait to see who wins between Rajasthan Royals and the Royal Challenge Bangalore. I'll start with Varun. Varun, your predictions, please. What's your percentage for this game? Who do you think has a little edge, and what's your percentage?
I think the team which has a bit more experience in spin might have the upper hand, which is KKR. So I'm going 60-40 KKR SRH.
60-40 KKR, you think, and what's yours now, Kolkata Knight Riders fan Orko?
Very tough, honestly, because when you talk about Ahmedabad, you remember the Aussies over there, and because of the fact that SRH have gotten game time of late and KKR haven't played for almost 10 games, so maybe they would have some difficulty in getting some momentum early on, and if SRH bundle the game up by that time, it will be difficult for us. So I think it's a 50-50 game, but being a KKR fan, I would hope that we do well, so maybe 55-45 in favor of ourselves.
So by the
Okay,
way,
so you,
like Kolkata Knight Riders, they've been carrying rain with them from the last two games. How is the weather forecast in Ahmedabad?
I've heard there's 0% precipitation tomorrow, but we
Okay.
never know what will happen. But the weather report says it will be completely dry, just like the dry state Gujarat is.
okay, that's good news. That's good news. We might have full 40 overs game. But ladies and gentlemen, I think they displayed a reverse Uno jinx because none of the teams favor themselves. They give a support to the other one. I don't know. Their face looked there to be honest, but we will see that. Thank you so much, Alko. Thank you so much, Varun. I wish you both all the best for this game. Qualifier number one is done and dusted. Thank you to all the viewers for watching this one. It's a cracking of a game. Kolkata Knight Riders versus Sunrisers Hyderabad at the Narendra Modi Stadium. The winner goes directly to Chennai. The loser also goes to Chennai, but will face the team that's winning the eliminator. Till then, don't forget to subscribe to the Fifth Umpire. Press the bell icon as well. Thank you so much, and bye bye.